Good morning. Hi, it's Hayley from Aussievision, and I'm joined by Fleur, who has watched the Serbian national final with me this morning. Good morning, Fleur. How are you?
Hey Haley, yeah, that was an absolute trip this morning, wasn't
Yep, sure was.
it?
So let's talk about the winner. I feel it sort of came out from nowhere. Did you think it was the right choice?
I'm not sure what the right choice this year was. It was such an open field. Um, but Prink, is it Prink or Prince?
I call him Prince.
Prince. Let's go with Prince. It sounds nicer. Um, Prince did beat Luke Black in the televote a couple of years ago.
Mm,
So televote, he was going to have that, I felt, because I think the Serbian people love him.
yeah.
Um, yeah, juries, not so much.
So, well, I had a look. He actually got second with the jury.
Oh, he did he?
Yeah, and
Oh, he
third
did
with
too, sorry.
yes, and
Yes, yes.
third with the public vote. So
Public vote 8, yeah.
I guess for the second year now, Serbia is taking a ballad to Eurovision.
Yeah.
I think in the field we've got at the moment, I mean, we've almost got all our songs. There's one
Mm.
other man ballad, but this one's quite different. And I think it should stand out. What do you think?
It will stand out. You've also got another Balkan ballad, but this one I think is the better polished one. It looks more Eurovision ready. He's got a great look. And being in that second half with all those bangers, it can stand out.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has got something different to offer. I think if they had chosen one of those girl bops, it just would have got swallowed up by
Oh,
the other girl bops.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I note that Serbia have actually just made it into the grand final the last 2 years in 10th place in the semi-finals. So I think if Prince can get through to the grand final, he's got some jury love coming his way.
Well, they've got Montenegro, who's their biggest supporters, I think. So it's looking good for them. Again, yeah, I think if they do make it, it's going to fill one of those bottom qualifying spots. Yeah, I can't. It's not going to be the top qualifier. Absolutely not.
No, no. I mean, they may struggle to qualify, but if they do,
Yeah.
I think they'll do okay. So let's talk about the format of the show. So, like other national finals this year, they've got the two semi-finals, eight from each through to the final. I
Yeah.
felt the show flowed very quickly. I got up just before 6 and quickly took the dog for a 5-minute walk, walked back in, and the show had started. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought I had time up my sleeve, but I obviously didn't. So they were
Yeah. It
boom, they
wasn't
were
greasy.
straight into it. So they were doing four songs and then a break to the green room and then four more. And I actually think that works, don't you think?
Yeah, it was good. It was. Yep. It was great. I could, go get a coffee
Yeah,
or whatever and come back
exactly.
and yeah. I have no idea what they're saying because my
No,
Serbian Croatian is pretty much non-existent. So yeah. But yeah,
so
it was a good show.
yes, it always is. It's always
Yeah,
very slick. The two hosts of the show are just gorgeous, so
yeah.
glamorous. And a special shout out to our Aussie Serbian Stefan Popovic in the green room. He does such a good job at this.
Yes, he does. He didn't talk about Australian cricketers this time, so I was a little bit let down by that.
Yeah, me too. So, I guess going into the show and even at the end of all the songs, I felt it was still wide open, and I honestly
Yeah.
had no idea how it was going to go. And I know I'm not the only one that felt that. After you watched the 16 songs, who did you feel was kind of in for a good chance to win this?
Hilary. He came 13th.
That it's
Because
funny. Yeah, it's
yeah,
funny you say that because that was the one I really liked.
yeah.
After watching the semi-finals, I was really impressed by him, and I kind of felt like he was Eurovision ready, and there wasn't really anything
Yes.
else like it. Maybe Belgium,
No.
and I kind of thought maybe that would possibly pop at Eurovision, but he didn't do too crash hot. What did you say? 13th place. That's not great. Some of those votings were very strange, especially the jury. That was very surprising. And when Prince was announced as a winner, I wasn't quite sure if he was actually named as a winner because I don't speak Serbian. And then I realized that he had won. And I was all a bit shocked by that, but what shocked me more was Harem Girls coming second overall. What did you think of that?
It was wild. And I agree. At the end of it, I thought, who on earth is going to win this? I some of the national finals I watched just go, yep, this person's going to win. Oh, it's going to be out of these two. This could have been about eight of them.
Mm.
It
And
was,
this
yeah, it was
was
bizarre.
this felt like it was a massive difference between half the songs were kind of jury love and the other half were quite televote. And one
Yeah,
example of that is Bojana and David, who I think were like Eurofans' favorite to win. They got
yeah.
zero
Zero
jury.
jury. Zero jury and 12 televote.
Yeah, so that's a bit rough, I think. But anyway,
Yeah, very divisive there.
indeed.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I also thought maybe Mimi Mercedes and Tam, maybe because I like both of those songs, but I kind of wondered if they maybe cancelled each other
Mm.
out a bit.
That's what I was thinking. I thought Tam had the better performance. I thought Mimi was all over the shop. Look, that was not the earlier ones. It was song two, very early on. It looked like a hot mess. But yeah, they're both similar type of girl bops. And I think, yeah, in the end, they probably did cancel each other out.
Yeah, I guess out of the two girl bops,
Yeah.
I think before I started watching the shows, Tam's Durham Durham was my favorite going into the
Yeah.
show because I've been listening to that since it was released. But I felt maybe the stage there was something just lacking in a bit of energy. Maybe she was swallowed
Yeah.
up from the dances. I'm not quite sure. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that.
there was. So after the semi-finals, my second favorite was Ohio. So they were the group that
Yes.
was on first, and
First.
that's a really, really catchy song. And they did quite well. I think they came fifth overall, and they were getting early
Yep.
jury love as well.
Fifth, maybe? No, they were seventh.
Seventh. There you go. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yep. Yep. I really enjoyed that. And I thought, oh, if this is how we're starting it off, this is going to be great. And then some songs were pretty good. And then others were like, oh my God, that qualified. Yeah.
Well, I think with the Serbian selection this year, there was a really good mix of genres.
Mm,
That
yep.
is one thing they did very, very
Very
well.
well. I agree.
Yeah. There was a few rock acts. There
Mm,
was a few ballads. There
yeah.
was the girl bop, the boy bop. So they had a bit of
Mm,
everything and
there
something
was.
everyone would find something they liked.
Yeah. And then
So
you had Harem Girls.
yes, and harem girls.
Mm.
Who was your favorite?
I did have a few favorites. Yeah, Falari was my favorite. I loved Ohio, and the other one I liked, and that didn't do very well either, was Iskas. That
Yes,
was the sort of the ska um band one, and I thought, oh well, we didn't get Black Biceps from Lithuania. Oh, here's
exactly.
something that I like equally, but no, that didn't do well at all.
No, but I will tell you one thing, that topped our
Hmm.
Aussievision rankings.
Oh yeah, did it? Okay, yeah, I didn't get a chance to do that one.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah,
very, very popular. I
yeah.
really liked it. And boy, they would have offered something fantastic at
Yeah,
Eurovision,
that I
totally.
think that might have been a better choice if that had gone through because there was nothing like that there. The only other
Indeed.
band I think we have at the moment is Lithuania. It's a very different song.
Very different song,
Yeah,
indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
So,
So, circling back to the winner of Prince,
mm,
I
yeah,
know we've already discussed a little bit about how he'd go at Eurovision.
mm,
We've discussed that we think he might slot in all right, being sort of a man ballad with a big vocal. Um,
yeah.
not to mention he's gorgeous to look at. That helps. So,
That will help the fans. Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
So, and I guess we both agree that it will slot in well. What would you do
Yeah,
to the staging for that? He had, was it like a moon, half
yeah.
moon, and a girl on stage as well. I guess a ballad can be very difficult to stage. Do you think that
Mm.
maybe they should go down the route of what they're already doing?
It, I would have to see. I'm one of those people where I like to see what the running order is like before I make comments,
Yeah,
because I think there were a couple of years ago where everybody had red staging.
yeah.
I Yeah, so I'd have to see what the others are having before
Mm.
I can say, yeah, make it brighter, make it darker. Like I said, my Serbo Croatian isn't very good. So I really don't know what the song is completely about.
No.
I didn't get a chance to look at the lyrics. Um, as long as it's got something to do with the song, I'm all for it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd have to study it a bit more, but yeah, I could only make that decision when it comes to Eurovision week when I see what everybody else has.
that is true. I mean,
Yeah.
everything changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Others go for completely different stage. I mean, look at
exactly.
Bambi Thug last year. I
I
mean,
was
who would have guessed that?
exactly. I was going to say
Yeah,
the exact same thing. Bambi
yeah,
Thug came. I mean, she was my favorite song last year, and
yeah.
then in the staging, it just blew everyone's mind, and
Absolutely.
and even people that didn't like the song to begin with were Team Bambi. So,
Exactly.
yeah, a lot can change. I always think Serbia do a pretty good job of when they do the staging anyway.
They
So,
do. Yeah, they're
yeah.
one of the better nations at it. Absolutely. Yeah, the last few ones I can think of. Yeah, even Raymondeur. I mean, that was another song people like, oh, but worked.
Well, that I was quite shocked that it qualified at the time,
Yeah,
but it definitely had a place in the final.
yeah.
So should okay, just a question. Is it going to
hmm
qualify?
Hard to tell with semi-final too because we don't have all the songs. There's quite a few missing. We don't even know what we're getting out of Georgia yet.
No.
But at the moment, I would say it would be a borderline qualifier only because there is nothing else like it. There's no other man ballad. We've got a couple of female ballads. So with all the girl bops, this is a great alternative for people that just want something a bit more quiet and maybe not so risque.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it will just qualify
Yeah,
and then it will do really well with the juries.
absolutely. That's the next thing
Yeah,
I was going to say. If it does qualify, it's complete jury bait. So yeah.
yeah. And I've just remembered there's Netherlands now, so there's actually three-man ballads, but this one's more of a power ballad, I feel, don't you think?
Yeah. Netherlands, I wouldn't really describe as a ballad because that chorus is fairly dancey. You're not going to dance to this one.
No, true, true.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so let's say that they've qualified. How do you think
hmm
they'll go at Eurovision? Left-hand side or right-hand side?
I see it mid-range.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it's not going to be bottom five, but I don't think it's going to be top 10. It's going to be somewhere around the 13th, 15th. Yeah, around there, 16, 17, something in that range, 13th to 17th.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be either the bottom of the left-hand side or the top of the right-hand
Yeah.
side, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, well done, Serbia, though. That was a real nail-biting show.
Yeah. I had no
Not,
idea what was going on. Who won? It took me a little while. Oh, Chris won. Yes. Okay. Didn't
but
see that one
just
coming.
having no idea who were the favorites.
No.
It's but it was fun. It was fun to watch because it kind
Yeah.
of opened it all up and
Yeah.
um yeah, well done, Serbia. So thank you, Fleur, for joining me this early morning to watch the Serbian national final. And
Thanks,
I guess
Hayley.
I guess we can hope that Prince does really well for his country.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Serbia. They're one of my favorite nations of late because they do send something avant-garde. This isn't quite avant-garde, but I love it regardless. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
bring it on,
Serbia are one
Serbia.
of those countries that doesn't try to send a Eurovision song. They just send a Serbian song to
Yeah,
Eurovision.
they're very
And
Portugal in that regard. They send what they like
yeah,
and they don't
exactly,
care what everybody
exactly.
else thinks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's a good thing. They're authentic.
I agree. Yeah,
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 cool.
absolutely.
Well, anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you next time, hey?
Yeah, yeah, can't wait.
See ya.
Thanks, Hayley.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.